CNN Live here to let you know in case you missed it. Obviously, yesterday I teased that there's a lot of evidence here that Blake Lively and Taylor Swift were very, very close at the time that all this went down with Justin Baldoni. Beyond the text message, a lot of things they were doing was very Taylor Swifty, dropping the Easter egg. So we dedicated our whole episode to that, and I gave you the timeline of her breakup with Joe Alwyn.
Y'all, this story just took a turn nobody saw coming. Just when people thought the drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni couldn't get any messier, the internet lit up all over again, and this time Candace Owens is right in the middle of it. And let me tell you, social media has been in full meltdown mode ever since she started talking. Because according to the rumors flying online, Candace claims there may be more to Blake and Justin's relationship behind the scenes than anybody realized during the filming of It Ends With Us. Not just creative tension, not just legal drama, but something way more personal. Now, before we get into this, nothing has been confirmed publicly by Blake or Justin themselves. A lot of this is speculation, fan theories, screenshots people are passing around online, and commentary that's spreading fast. But that hasn't stopped people from dissecting every interview, every photo, every red carpet moment, and every leaked message like it's evidence in a courtroom.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 in the morning. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Whew. Wow, there's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just gonna send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not gonna be more than a few minutes. But that'll have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank, and I'm really sorry. I for sure fell short, and you worked really hard on that, and the way you framed it, and how that made you feel. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. That takes a lot of trust and vulnerability, and I feel really grateful that you feel safe enough to tell me that that's how you feel and share that with me. And I'm really sorry. I fucked up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I'm a very flawed man, as my wife will attest, and and I'm gonna fuck up. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I'm gonna piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize and then find my way back to center. That is one thing I can assure you of.
And honestly, the deeper people dig, the more questions they seem to have. Because what nobody expected was for this messy legal fight to suddenly turn into people questioning whether these two were closer than anyone knew before everything fell apart. And if that's even remotely true, then this whole story may look very different now. Because what started as a movie promotion has somehow turned into one of Hollywood's most talked about public feuds, and everybody wants answers. To understand why people are spiraling over this, we've got to go back for a second. When Blake signed on to It Ends With Us, fans were excited. The book already had a massive following. People had strong feelings about the characters, the story, the emotional weight behind it, all of it. And then Justin wasn't just acting in the project, he was directing it too.
And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That must have felt terrible. And I will for sure do better. That was not my best weekend, and I should have given it more time. And damn right, you got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that, and fuck, we should all have friends like that. Aside from the fact that they're two of the most creative people on the planet. The three of you guys together, it's unbelievable. Talk about energy, just a force, all three of you. But I just wanted you to know that I didn't need that, because it's really good, and it's gonna make the movie sing like you said, and I'm excited to go through the whole movie with you. I'm just excited to spend time with you. I'm excited to be in your sphere and your presence, and for us to share creative juices together, although that sounds terrible. I think you and I have been trying to build a relationship, which I think we've done successfully. I mean, here we are talking like this, me into my phone at 2 a.m, but largely via text and voice note. And I will be honest with you, that is not my biggest strength. I love being with people and being in somebody's space and being face to face, and I feel like that's where I excel, and definitely fallen short at times in our text and voice note exchanges, because there's so much to communicate and there's so much happening. And all that to say, I'm just really looking forward to spending time together. And I think that's going to really go a long way for our chemistry, which I believe is there. It has been there from the start. So I was so damn excited when you wanted to do this film. I felt it in the room when we met. And I think it does come from the both of us being so hardworking and having a vision and not settling.
That's a complicated setup all by itself. You've got two major public figures, one beloved actress with years in the spotlight, one actor-director trying to bring a best-selling story to life, and immediately, expectations were sky high. At first, everything looked fine from the outside. The cast smiled for photos, the interviews were polished, the behind-the-scenes clips looked warm and playful. People thought they were watching a creative partnership come together. But then, fans started noticing little things, tiny things at first. Moments in interviews where the energy felt off, press appearances where Blake and Justin weren't promoting the film together the way people expected, questions that got avoided, awkward pauses, that kind of Hollywood tension people swear they can feel through the screen.
And I'm excited to have a creative partner in that with you. And it's just really exciting. There's so much more to say. There's so much I want to say. And there's one thing that I do need to say, which is I am so sorry you have been through what you've been through with these other filmmakers and producers or whoever the people were that you worked with. It just pissed me off. I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And I know I don't need to say it, but that's not at all going to be or will be, and hopefully it's not been the experience with me. There's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with Blake Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want. And so there's been no hesitancy with me sending you the final draft file. I am totally fine with that. The only reason I didn't send it today was because I was trying to implement and add your notes into my working draft, which is already, like, I'm all over that draft right now. So there's a whole bunch of new stars that are going to be collated pages. And I just haven't had a chance to send it to you. But there's no hesitancy. I'm happy to send it to you. And I'm sorry that has happened to you before.
At first, people brushed it off. Maybe scheduling, maybe creative differences, maybe just stress. Making a movie is exhausting. But then, reports of disagreements started surfacing. Then, the legal battle exploded, and suddenly, everybody was asking, what really happened behind the scenes? Was it creative conflict, a fight over control of the film, personal tension, or something entirely else? And that's where things got even more chaotic, because while people were already going back and forth online, Candace Owens jumped in. And when she did, the entire conversation shifted. Candace started discussing the situation publicly and questioning the timeline of how things unfolded between Blake and Justin. She pointed to interviews, photos from the set, press clips, body language, comments made during production, even fan-captured footage people mostly ignored at the time.
I hope after this experience there will be a new, I hope it'll be healing in some way. That's all I want. I want this movie to be healing. I want this movie to be commercial, just like you, and affect people and touch people. And I want to walk you through my whole plan and the work that we're doing with the domestic partner that we found, No More, and just my vision. And I just know that this can be really, really special, and it's gonna be special. And you're the secret sauce, and we're the secret sauce. And anyways, I have so much more to say. I'm gonna stop rambling because Jesus Christ, it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble at 2 in the morning. I hope you're feeling better, and give Ryan my love. Thank you for sending me that. It means the world to me that you trust me with your feelings and your thoughts like that, and I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done cutting myself off. Good night.
And from there, the internet did what the internet always does. Everybody became a detective overnight. People started reposting old videos, zooming into facial expressions, breaking down hand placement in photos, comparing who stood next to who during premieres, who posted what, who didn't, who liked which post, who suddenly stopped mentioning the other. It became a full investigation. Some fans said it was ridiculous. Others said it raised valid questions. And then alleged screenshots started circulating online claiming there were interactions between Blake and Justin that felt unusually close during production. Again, nothing verified, no confirmation, no proof from either side, but the speculation out of control. What made it hit even harder was how drastically everything seems to have changed publicly. Because if you look back early on, Blake spoke warmly about the project. Justin seemed genuinely proud of the collaboration. They both described the film as meaningful, important, personal, something bigger than just another studio release. That's why people are struggling to understand how things allegedly went from that to lawsuits, public statements, legal teams, press leaks, and complete silence between them. But here's the twist. A lot of people aren't focused on whether there was ever anything romantic at all. They're focused on why the narrative changed so dramatically. Because if there wasn't anything personal going on, then why does everything feel so emotionally charged now? Why did things seem to unravel so fast? Why did the fallout feel deeper than a normal disagreement between co-stars? That's what people keep coming back to. And everybody's reading it differently. Some say it was simply a creative partnership that got too intense. Long hours, emotional material, pressure from adapting a beloved book, studio expectations, marketing stress, too many voices involved. That alone can blow up even the strongest working relationship. Others think something happened emotionally behind the scenes, whether friendship, trust, closeness, or something misunderstood. And once that trust cracked, everything after it collapsed too. And honestly, that version feels believable to a lot of people, because betrayal doesn't always have to be romantic. Sometimes it's creative betrayal. Sometimes it's personal disappointment. Sometimes it's feeling misunderstood. Sometimes it's watching something you built together fall apart in public. And whatever happened here, it feels personal. That's the part nobody can ignore, especially because both of them had so much tied to this movie. Blake wasn't just acting, she was invested, passionate, deeply involved in shaping the story. Justin wasn't just starring, he was directing, leading, carrying the weight of the entire production. That kind of collaboration can either create magic or total chaos. And when it breaks, it usually breaks loudly. People online keep pointing back to interviews where Blake looked emotional talking about the project. Others point to Justin discussing how important the story was to him. And now fans are revisiting all of it through a completely different lens. Every smile gets questioned. Every compliment gets reanalyzed. Every silence feels louder than before. And maybe that's why Candace's commentary caught fire the way it did. Because whether people agree with her or not, she said the thing everybody was already quietly wondering. Could there have been more happening behind the scenes than the public knew? And once that question got asked, there was no putting it back in the box. The emotional fallout from all this feels bigger than a typical Hollywood feud, because careers are involved, reputations are involved, families are involved, and maybe most importantly, a movie that meant something to millions of fans got pulled into the middle of it. For Blake, this has meant non-stop public scrutiny. Every appearance gets dissected. Every quote becomes a headline. People who once celebrated her every move are now split right down the middle. Some defend her completely, others blame her for everything. There's barely any middle ground anymore. For Justin, it's been just as intense. People question his motives, his leadership, his version of events, his silence, his statements, everything. And the internet never lets anything breathe. Every day brings a new clip, a new rumor, a new receipt, a new theory. Meanwhile, everyone involved keeps living under a microscope. And the saddest part, whatever actually happened between them, if anything beyond work ever existed at all, only they truly know. Not fans, not commentators, not TikTok detectives, not gossip pages, just them. That truth may be simple, or it may be incredibly complicated. But right now, it's buried underneath so much noise, and that noise keeps getting louder. What nobody expected was for a film that was supposed to be emotional on-screen to become even more emotional off-screen. The heartbreak fans were supposed to feel watching the story somehow turned into real-world tensions surrounding the people who made it. And now the movie almost feels secondary. People aren't just talking about scenes anymore. They're talking about lawsuits, relationships, trust, control, friendships, power, who hurt who crossed a line, who changed the story, who's telling the truth, and whether we'll ever actually know. Maybe we will. Maybe more texts come out. Maybe more interviews happen. Maybe somebody eventually tells the full story. Or maybe they won't. Maybe it stays one of those Hollywood stories people debate for years, half fact, half rumor, half emotion. The kind of story where everybody has a theory, but nobody has the full picture. And maybe that's why it keeps pulling people back in, because it doesn't feel finished. There's no clean ending yet, no closure, no final answer, just more questions. And honestly, that might be what keeps this whole thing alive. Was it just a working relationship that went wrong? Did creative passion turn into resentment? Did trust break somewhere behind closed doors? Or are people reading way too much into moments that were never what they seemed? Right now, nobody outside that set can say for sure, but the speculation isn't slowing down, not even close. And every time another clip resurfaces, every time someone revisits an interview, every time a commentator adds another layer, the conversation starts all over again. So now, I want to know what y'all think. Do you think the internet is reaching? Do you think Candace raised questions worth talking about? Or do you think this whole thing has gotten way bigger than whatever actually happened? Whatever side people are on, one thing's clear. This story is far from over, and Hollywood still hasn't stopped talking about it. Let me know what you think in the comments, because I have a feeling this won't be the last twist we hear about Blake and Justin. And if something else drops, you already know we're talking about it.